Hey travelers, Mag here, approaching the end of our time spent driving around Kyushu from prefecture to prefecture. This morning, we're taking on Miyazaki Prefecture in the far southeast corner of Kyushu. We're going to begin the morning here in Aoshima, walk out to the Aoshima Shrine out on the water. From there, we're going to head up to Miyazaki and geocache around the city. Now, unlike the other areas we've been through Kyushu so far, this isn't really set up for a walking tour of the city. This is a little bit more of a country scene, and so the geocaches are spread further apart. We're gonna be driving from target to target rather than walking, but it looks like there's a lot of interesting places to visit along the way, and the driving, since we can actually find parking, offers us the opportunity to find more geocaches than we have as well. So let's get out there and see Aoshima and Miyazaki together. Come on, let's go.
I begin the morning at a viewing area along the west side of Aoshima. It is an easily accessed parking area right off the highway that leads up to a viewpoint that looks out over Aoshima Shrine. Aoshima itself is nestled into a very flat area along the coast, so it's nice to have this hill to climb up and get a better view of the city that we're going to set out and explore to go geocaching this morning.
Of all the places that I'm most excited about traveling in Miyazaki Prefecture though, Aoshima Shrine is at the top of my list. Now, it's only an earth cache out there, but the earth cache is pretty cool. It's cut stones from the wave action, which form kind of a step pattern. Plus, as you can see from here, there's a land bridge walking out onto the shrine, so it's its own little island out there. That alone makes it worth a visit, and I can't wait to see it in person.
But I'm not heading there in a straight line, instead choosing to zigzag my way through the targets in town.
There's nothing like the quiet sounds of the morning to make the first find of the day that much more rewarding. I cannot for the life of me open this container. I just can't do it. When that happens, if possible, I take a picture of it. This geocache actually has spoiler photos on the page with the container, so I'm not giving anything away. I'm gonna count that as a find because the logbook is meant to be accessed. I simply just can't do it.
Everybody around Aoshima seems to be on island time, which isn't that much of a surprise for a destination known for its surfing. Despite the sun having been out for more than an hour, I haven't yet seen a soul.
You know that you're in business when you're searching for a geocache, when amongst the natural colors, you spot those special orange, greens, and reds of the geocaching logo. That is a winner.
Driving my way between the geocaches, the morning moves along quite quickly, and in no time at all, I find myself out at the coast. To reach Aoshima Shrine, I find the best parking at the Aoshima Beach Park, which affords me the opportunity to walk out along this nice green space. I'm visiting during the off-season, so there are only a few people around, but during the summer, this place can get pretty hopping.
When learning the English language, we have a saying that says, for every rule, there is an exception, which means that whenever you learn something, there's always that one or many cases where it doesn't follow the rule. For instance, I before E except after C. Except for these cases, right? The same thing goes here. Miyazaki is mostly set up for driving. The caches are spread few and far between. We won't be doing a lot of walking today between Aoshima and Miyazaki, except for this geocache right out here to the island. There's no way to get out to Aoshima Shrine without a walk, so we're gonna enjoy this nice coastal view along the way.
But the seaside walk isn't the only surprise waiting for visitors here. If you move just one block in, you can take a stroll through the Miyakoh Botanic Garden. At 9 a.m. sharp, the main gate opens invitingly, which has been designed to look like the gate from its sister garden since 1965, the Singapore Botanic Garden. In fact, many aspects of its design are intended as a reflection of its sister gardens in Singapore, including a Merlion replica residing in the glass house. Standing out amongst the natural beauties to behold here are the top 3 flowering trees in the world: a jacaranda, a Spathia campulata, and a D. Lonix regia. The best part about touring through this botanical garden is access to the public is entirely free, though timing your visit is important because the glass house is closed on Tuesdays and the fruit glass house is closed on Wednesdays.
Hidden behind door number 1 we have nothing, but behind door number 2 we do have something.
Out the back of the botanical garden and across the beach, I get to the part of the morning that I have been most excited about, my walk out to Aoshima Island. It's certainly not a very big island, only covering about 11 acres with its highest point at a mere 20 feet above sea level. But it is a true gem of Miyazaki Prefecture. Designated as a national monument of Japan, it is covered in more than 4,000 trees and over 200 subtropical plants. And that's just what you'll see if you're looking in at the island, but most people find themselves looking out at the unique cut rock pattern forming the perimeter around the exterior of the island. This is the first thing you'll get to learn about upon arrival.
This is every bit as cool as I was hoping it would be for an Earth cache. This isn't come and make observations on kind of a, is this what I'm supposed to be looking at site? No, this is clearly the Devil's Washboard or the Ogre's Washboard that we came to see here. This accumulated sandstone and mudstone that's been eroded by wave action in this awesome cut pattern like that. That's something I really haven't seen anywhere else.
The primary draw for visitors to this island is neither the lush green landscape nor the unique cut rock patterns. Most who make the trek out here come to visit Aoshima Shrine, located on the southeast part of the island. It is completely hidden away by a screen of trees, and you will see no sign of it until you are ready to enter through the front gates. It is renowned as a place that will answer prayers for marriage. Couples have been known to come from all over Japan to pray at this shrine together. One of the ways to pray for good luck is by tying strings of different colors together. Another is to throw earthenware dishes into a special place in the shrine. But the most popular method seems to be for visitors to write their personal wishes or prayers on a wooden plaque called an ima. The ima are then hung up at the entranceway leading to a secluded spot in the back of the shrine. This is a practice that dates all the way back to the Nara period in the 8th century. At that time though, the offerings were significantly more than wooden plaques. Members of the aristocracy and military elite would donate horses to their local shrine, wishing for protection from their opposition.
I'm going to tell you right now, it is difficult, if not impossible, to come pay a visit to the Aoshima Shrine and not just have your mind completely blown. This place, this is pretty cool, and I've been to a lot of Japanese shrines, so I think I have a good basis of comparison. This is almost certainly going to be the high point of the trip to Miyazaki, and that's saying something, because it looks like this coastal town still has quite a bit to offer ahead.
Heading toward the far end of the island, I get a better look at the wave-cut bench surrounding it, known as the Oni no Sentakuita. In English, this translates as the Devil's Washboard. Layers of hard sandstone and soft mudstone are piled up on top of each other, with the waves constantly washing away the softer sediments.
Back here beyond the Aoshima Shrine, I'd say is the best spot on the beach, because right there, you can actually see this earth cache in process at the moment. Watch the way those waves crash over the top of those rocks and slowly cut it down into the pattern we see here. It is great to see an earth cache at work firsthand with a clear observation of the process at work. I dig it.
Although the wave bench surrounds the entire island, it is far less pronounced on the west side as compared to the east side. Here though, instead of walking along the sandy beach trail, you will be on a slightly elevated platform passing through the palm trees.
The pathway around this island actually wraps in a complete loop. I walked in on the shrine approach, so I figured I'd see what the other side has to offer, and it's completely different, so I'm not disappointed in the least.
Although the rocks of the Devil's Washboard appear quite fragile when compared to the relentless wave action that assaults them, they are actually quite sturdy. When visiting during low tide, you can walk right out onto the Devil's Washboard, and if you're lucky, you'll find some sea creatures living in the small pools.
One could be forgiven for mistaking this pair of stones as waves, because they're shaped just like the waves about to crash down on the rocks below them.
One of the best times of year to visit the beaches of Aoshima is in mid-June when they host the Sea Crossing Festival. Local fishing boats carry portable shrines known as mikoshi. At the conclusion of the festivals, locals wearing special coats rush into the sea to bring the shrines ashore.
What's this, you say? A guardrail? It couldn't be a guardrail hide. We haven't come across these anywhere in Kyushu. Okay, I stand corrected. We've come across one guardrail hide here in Kyushu.
Slowly but surely, I make my way toward the north end of Aoshima, grateful that I am driving a car as all of these caches are spaced pretty far apart. I enjoy a slow cruise down the country roads, which I mostly have to myself, but I do pull over to allow vehicles to pass whenever I encounter them.
One thing I will say is there's just not that many geocaches that have me breaking off into the woods. So to be honest, anytime I have to break into the tree line to go find a geocache, it's kind of a welcome opportunity. And right here, we've got another winner. Not too far off the beaten path either. I like it.
On the far north end of Aoshima, I come across the Undokoen station, which has to be one of the most least used stations I've ever seen. I was there for quite a while and saw no signs of any people.
We're actually going to play this game in the exact opposite direction as we did in the United States. Here we have a non-operational telephone. That's right. This one doesn't work. And check it out. Look, it's filled with cobwebs and bugs. Right, they're all over the machine here. The light's not on. Can't get any dial tone on this thing. I'm astounded. I found a non-operational telephone in Japan. That's one.
For my last find here in Aoshima, I take a stroll to the far end of the Undokoen Athletic Park.
Had I researched this one ahead of time and known what the ground zero I was walking into would have been, I might have saved myself a third of a mile here on foot to be able to do it. But I'm glad that I didn't, because I came and actually was able to make a train find. This feels pretty good because you know I don't do well with train finds, so yay for me.
And I am definitely counting myself as lucky that I was able to make this find in such a short amount of time. As you can see for yourself, this is quite a bit of terrain to cover, which offers a lot of potential hiding places. But I rode the train of success all the way in to the next station.
All aboard! Next stop, Miyazaki.
I ended up spending much longer than I'd anticipated in Aoshima because by the time I had reached the station in Miyazaki, I took a look at the clock and realized I'd already run out of time for the day.
All right, looks like that's gonna bring an end to my time spent here in Miyazaki. I began this morning in Aoshima and was able to take a walk out to Aoshima Shrine, which was absolutely beautiful. From there, I worked my way from one geocache up to the next, all the way until we got into Miyazaki. Here we're gonna bring things to an end in front of the Miyazaki Terminal. I would like to have gotten a little further into the city and found a few more geocaches, but as so often is the case with this game, there's just not enough time to get it done. Nevertheless, I did enjoy my tour through the prefecture, and I hope you enjoyed seeing the sights along with me. The next stop is gonna be Ueda, which is going to be the last of the main stops along the Kyushu Prefecture Island tour. Make sure to tune in for that adventure. Until then, like this video, subscribe, stay tuned for updates, and I'll see you out on the trails.